Two idiots talking over stuff. Talking over. Talking over. Talking over.
Wow, we're doing it again. What's up, you fucking idiots?
What's up, idiots?
We're doing it's now. I think we decided this during the watch along. So if you don't listen to the watch along, we feel like it's better to say, what's up, you fucking idiots?
Yeah, because we're referring to everybody who listens as a fellow idiot and not just each other.
True. Yeah, so we're greeting all our idiots out there.
Speaking of each other, who are you?
I'm Jesse. You can find me on Twitter at @OwlByNight and on Instagram at @OwlByNight_JS. I think. A movie star follows me now.
Whoa. We're gonna unpack that in a second, I'm sure. Yeah. But I'm Felicia. You can find me at Felicia3 on Twitter and Instagram. We also have social media for the podcast. You can go to our website, www.idiots.fm. You can ask us anything by emailing us at I fucked up.
Right. You can email us at hello@idiots.fm, or if you want, you can hit us up on our Discord.
Heck and yeah.
The link for that's at Oh, by the way, I'm not man. What do you call it?
Mandling?
What would this be called? Not mansplaining when you fuck up and I take over.
Oh no, that's our new rule, is that when one of us fucks up reading something, the other one takes over.
Yeah, and it's presumed that Felicia will just keep reading everything because I fuck up constantly. What would you call it though? It's not mansplaining. It would be like...
No, I don't think it's anything. We're handing the baton.
It's like an audio man spread.
It's really not.
It's like a vocal man spread.
We pre-agreed to this, and it goes both ways.
Right, but I'm kind of pushing you off the seat and taking over.
I'll push you off later.
Okay, and that'll be a lady spread. Why? That sounds worse than man spread by a lot.
Does.
Good Lord. Anyway, Discord. You can find it at the top of our website. There's a little icon. There's a YouTube icon up there too if you want to click that and subscribe. Ooh. We need like a lot more subscribers so
otherwise
we can have an actual channel
name.
Yeah, we don't have a name on YouTube. It's we're like Terminators with a bunch of letters and numbers and shit.
Yeah.
And otherwise we're at Tito's Pod everywhere else, mostly on Twitter, and that's mostly Felicia, but I'll get in there every now and again.
I posted a poll earlier. Did you see that?
I did. I answered it.
Good.
Do I remember what it said? No.
I think I can guess your answer. It was about arms.
Oh, do we have enough? Do we have a consensus?
Oh, let's check. While I check the tweeters, why don't you tell us what celebrity is following you?
Well, that would be Anna Laurie.
Oh.
From a movie that we're talking about today.
Oh, are we?
Yeah. You and I know her from Fortnite.
Yes.
And Table Talk. And she hosted an episode of Dynamic Banter one time.
Yes.
But, yeah, I knew her from Table Talk. Funny enough, she was on with Mike and Steve on Table Talk.
Really?
Yeah, looking real young, like 7 years ago.
Interesting.
I didn't remember it, but I saw it.
By the way, our poll only has 4 votes so far, and there's only one person who agrees with me about arms being attractive.
Yeah, but 2 people in the Discord did.
Yeah.
Tatiana and Beth both got on the arm train.
I assume just the people who voted were mostly men.
Well, yeah. Maybe. It's very weird having someone on my stories who looks like a movie star. Because I'll have your cat, and then I'll have red carpet.
How fucking dare you tell me that my cat doesn't look like a movie star?
No. It's just movie stars don't like stare at treadmills and do paw.
I don't I
So
don't
it's like
believe this.
it's a weird juxtaposition. All I'm saying is weird juxtaposition.
Rude.
You're rude.
You're rude.
You know, the time for asking any question is right now. What will you do if somebody told you you're only 6 more months to live? What would you like people to say in your funeral? And who invented letters?
Wow, what a great question. Who do you think invented
that? Long segment intro.
You don't like my bumper?
It's yeah.
I think it.
You know, the time for asking.
See, that's the problem when it's too long. Is that
I can't tell what it's gonna replay.
Yeah.
I love a little behind the scenes. We use Zencaster to record these, and I don't know how you set things to loop. There's like no indication. So some of our shit, like our sound bites, loop and some don't, and I don't know what the difference is.
And I'm pretty much just here. I don't know any functions of this website besides show up and record.
Yeah, I hit all the buttons.
Yeah. So the first question we have is from Tatiana, or Tatana as she is affectionately known. Her question is, what is a movie or TV trope that always gets you? Like it's obvious and dumb or silly, but you love it every time.
And that's a good question. And I almost put down farts.
I don't know if that's like a trope, is it?
Well, when I think back to like the loudest and hardest and longest I've ever laughed, it's usually like a fart or a poop joke. I think you could consider maybe that a trope of like frat humor.
I guess so.
Frat comedies and stuff. No, but what I landed on was scenes where a character is tripping.
Oh.
Like I really like watching directors interpret what a trip is like.
That's an interesting way to look at it.
Yeah, it's always different. Like my favorite is basically the entirety of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. That movie is just one long trip. Harold and Kumar did good ones. Super Troopers, maybe the hardest I've ever laughed in my life was the first like 10 minutes of Super Troopers, where these like highway patrolmen are fucking with like kids that are tripped out of their minds. And it's very, very funny.
I guess, I don't like it when it's kind of the whole premise of a movie, like Fear and Loathing. Yeah. But I do appreciate it in things like The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, when Pedro Pascal and Nick Cage are just really high and super paranoid.
Shit, I forgot. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a great. Oh, and Deadly. There's a show called Deadly Class that got canceled after one season. I was real mad about it. But like episode 5 of that is maybe the best portrayal of tripping on acid I've ever seen.
Interesting.
Basically takes the whole episode up.
Well, do you find yourself evaluating how accurate it is? Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah. Because I know you said you like listening or seeing the interpretation of the director, but there must be a part of you that's like, that's not what that drug does.
Absolutely. Yeah, you could tell. If you've ever like taken acid, I did take acid and like other hallucinogens in my teens. And yeah, you can tell when a director doesn't know what it's supposed to be like. And which makes it way more fun when they get it right.
Yeah, I guess you would assume they would consult an expert before they were just like, I guess this is what it is.
You would, but you would be surprised.
Yeah.
It could be like, it's not really like technically easy either. So it could just be a limitation of editors more than the director not knowing what
True.
It's like. But yeah, in TV especially, they get it wrong a lot. What's yours?
Mine is really easy. It's just whenever there's like a reluctant father figure who's like usually a tough, grizzled older man, and then he is tasked with watching or caring for a child or teen that he doesn't have any real attachment to, but they form like a father-daughter or father-son bond over the course of the movie. I'm a huge sucker for that. And like, I know that, and it gets me every single time. Maybe it's daddy issues, who knows? But it's like, Oh, it hits me in the feels.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's why you nerd out over Last of Us then, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like
That,
the
I mean,
exact
that might have
premise.
been one of the OG instances, but I find myself gravitating towards things along similar lines.
Like, what's another one besides Last of Us?
Like Stakeland,
Oh,
or
yeah, that's a good one.
other games like BioShock Infinite, although that is familial, but they don't know that. There's lots more. Some of it is less obvious, like that's less of the main theme, but it's still present.
Yeah,
So yeah, I'm a big sucker for it, especially in games.
cool. We have two, both from the
Yeah.
Discord this week.
Yeah.
Go on the Ask Us Anything channel and spit out questions. We like it. It's fun.
Heck yeah.
This one is from Matthew Palka. He says, you get to have any 5 movie or really any story characters have a dinner meal together. Who do you choose and why? And then a secondary question, would you partake in the dinner meal?
I didn't think about this at all going in.
Yeah.
So I've decided to roll with my own bit in that. So I think if I answer this honestly, it's just going to end up being horny. It's just going to be like me and the 5 characters that I've had crushes on. So I think what would be funnier is if it's like the same actor playing different characters and all the characters get to sit around the table and talk. Like we could do Brendan Fraser and we could have George of the Jungle and his character from Airheads whose name escapes me, and
Encino Man.
Encino Man and Dudley Do-Right and the Mummy.
I think the Encino Man one would be real fun.
Ooh, you know what would be fun too is Jeff Goldblum and all of his characters. Like
the Fly's just sitting there
with Dr. Ian Malcolm. I think they'd be pals until the whole metamorphosis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be fun, right?
Dude, that's a fun alteration.
And as for whether or not I would be present, I think I would want to watch, but I don't think I'd want to be an active participant.
Oh, I would want to participate, I think, because that's like a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah, I guess just like in this case, I'd be more interested in watching how they interact with each other and not so much me. But I'd still like want to be around for it. I guess I just wouldn't necessarily have to be at the table. I could be serving them dinner.
Man, it's actually really fun thinking about one actor and all of his different characters at a dinner table. Yeah, that's a fun bit. We should expand on that. I want to think about it. Let's do this again next week. And I want to think about my 5.
Okay.
Like which actor and what characters would be the most interesting.
Okay.
That's a fun time.
Yeah. Sean Bean.
Oh man, Rudy. No, wait. Sean Bean's
he always dies in things.
Yeah,
Sean
right.
Bean is
from Game
Ned
of Thrones.
Stark, yeah.
I get him mixed. Who am I mixing him up with?
I don't know.
It's the guy from Rudy. He was one of the Hobbitses. Fuck. Stranger Things.
Yeah, Sean. It is Sean. Sean Astin?
Yeah, Sean Astin.
That would be fun too.
But yeah, both of them. There's so many options. That's gonna be fun to think about and then forget, and you guys will never hear it.
Yeah, probably.
Because I'll forget that we're supposed to do it, and I won't put it on the thing.
Yeah.
But it's fun to say that we're gonna do it. Mine. I thought about this, and I think it would be fun to have like a bunch of smart people with like some sass about them. So I went Chris Knight from Real Genius. That's my favorite smart character in anything of all time. Because he's like a smart ass.
Mm-hmm.
But if you ask him technical questions, he'll come right back at you. He'll know exactly what to say. Alan Turing from Imitation Game. That's your boy.
My boy.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
That's not my boy.
I thought he was one of your boys.
No.
Oh. My mistake. Shit. Alan Turing basically invented computers and won World War II for the Allies. Have you ever seen Imitation Game?
Yeah, and then they tried to put him in conversion therapy anyway.
Yes, that's the part of his story that I didn't know before that movie. Well, I did know it before the movie, but it wasn't by much. It was like
very sad.
Yeah, extremely sad and kind of covered up.
Yeah.
Really shitty for a country to do to someone that saved the world, basically.
America.
Essentially saved the world from Nazis.
Yep.
Sean from Good Will Hunting, Robin Williams' character, extraordinarily smart, but has like a shit ton of stories, long, interesting life, and like a lot of cool insight on stuff. And Ellie Airway from Contact, so it's not a sausage party in there. She's super smart, kind of a smart ass, but like a nerd's nerd. And I would like to talk about space with her, basically because it's female Carl Sagan.
Yeah.
Like Carl Sagan wrote that story, and he's ostensibly in the lead role. It's just Ellie Airway. So it's like a twofer. I get to talk to Ellie Airway and Carl Sagan, who's a hero of mine. And the fifth is Gordon Ramsay from Smurfs: The Lost Village. And I sure would partake in this dinner meal. I feel like if I put Gordon Ramsay in there, he can cook for all of us, and it'd be the shit.
Does his character from Smurfs cook?
No, it's him. No, it's Gordon. Him. It's Gordon Ramsay. Damn, that's a good question. I didn't think about. I bet that character. I would bet money. I forgot to look what he was playing.
As himself, then yeah.
But it's not.
Oh no.
It was like a named Smurf character, but I would bet so much money that it's a chef.
Well, I guess you're gonna have to watch that movie now.
I'm never gonna. I just wanted a reason to have Gordon Ramsay cook for everybody and make the food real nice and good, and we could all have a good dinner meal. Palka, you're gonna have to tell me why you said dinner meal instead of dinner. Is that a New York thing?
I don't know.
Have you ever heard dinner meal before?
I don't think so.
Me neither. Maybe he's just doing a bit.
Maybe Palka's an alien.
Could be. Palka's nice like an alien would. Like, there's nobody. I don't think there's anybody on Earth that's as nice as Palka.
There you go.
He has like alien niceness.
You assume aliens are nice?
Well, this one is.
Okay.
Actually, I do. I have a theory about this. Do you want to ruin the podcast real quick?
Okay.
My theory is that any civilization that has figured out space travel enough that they can escape their like galaxy and get to ours would have gone past the time where they could have destroyed themselves. And I feel like our civilization is eventually going to blow itself up before we can travel that far. So I feel like any civilization that could figure out space travel in that way is probably not conquistadors. It's probably
they've evolved so much as a society that they can't possibly be as problematic as we are.
Exactly. They're like globally one, because also you have to have something like the internet, and you have to have like scientific consensus, and you have to want to fund scientific projects. So you have to be like hyper progressive, I think. So I think any alien that lands here is going to be nice boys, and they're not going to land. They're going to be like, what the fuck?
That's more how I think about it, is that they don't want anything to do with Earth.
No, they're going to look at us and be like, they got some growing to do.
Yeah.
And we're probably never going to see them because they're going to.
That's 2 million years ago.
like they're going to be looking at humans and be like, okay, as soon as they have the technology to like genetically engineer some like disease to kill a certain race, they're going to do it. So this planet's not long for the stars, or whatever you would say.
Yeah.
Two good questions, I thought.
I have a question too.
Okay.
Because this came up, I was listening to just like an old playlist, and some songs came on that I hadn't heard in a long time. And I physically sometimes get chills when I hear certain songs.
Uh-huh.
And I read that apparently that's relatively rare. So my question to you was, do you ever get chills when listening to music?
Absolutely.
And if so, what elicits that?
Absolutely. I don't think it's rare. It's called Frisson.
Oh.
So I think it's Frisson. There's a subreddit for it.
I don't remember the statistic, but when I read it, it was like only such and such % of people experienced this. I want to say it was in the 20s, which I don't know if that's accurate or not. But I was like, that's a thing that I do a lot. So if it's rare, that's weird.
Yeah, I do it a lot too. Oddly, none of my own music has ever elicited that response.
I don't know if it can, because
I've-
it's not, because I guess when it happens for me, it's either like a new song that I'm experiencing for the first time and really like
Yeah.
it, or it's like a blast from the past nostalgia thing, and like it's feelings of I remember loving this song. So I don't know if you could give yourself chills with your own music.
I don't know. I like to look that up because I have thought about it before. If you can, it's like, as someone who makes music, it's like having a superpower.
Yeah.
Because you would know when it's hitting other people that way too. Because it seems to be like it's like a shared experience. So it's like never just you that would feel that.
Yeah.
Frisson. I'm trying to think of my favorite example. I think it is, there's this YouTube video where they've taken Hans Zimmer's one of his tracks from the Inception score, and they've put it behind Charlie Chaplin's speech from The Great Dictator. That gets me every fucking time.
That's true. Like the profoundness of something can give you chills.
Well, it's the mixture of Charlie. So it's kind of a rising speech. So he starts off even keeled, but he gets like more and more into it as it goes on. And it's about like uniting the world against evil. And behind it is Time by Hans Zimmer, which is that track that's one of my favorite scores of all time anyway. But it's Time from the Inception soundtrack, and it also is rising. So there's like a crescendo where they're both hitting the peak at the same time, and that gets me.
That's cool. I also think scores in general have that ability more so than a lot of regular songs, I guess, because they're so grand, and it feels like you're in, I don't know, some kind of epic situation and you're part of it, which is like same with live music or like live musicals. I think that has more of an ability to give you chills than like pre-recorded stuff a lot of the times.
Maybe it's some kind of combination of like audio and visual.
Yeah, could be.
Because there are some songs that'll get me just listening, but it happens way more when it's like a movie score or something, when I'm invested.
I agree.
Or immersed.
I want to know from audience, do you get chills when listening to music?
Yeah, that's a good question. I bet, knowing our audience, I bet they do. I bet it's like a shared trait.
I really don't think it's as rare as whatever I read made it out to be.
It might not be. There's a whole subreddit at reddit.com/r/Frisson. And if you sort that by like top upvoted of all time and go down the list, it will just keep hitting you. Everyone that's upvoted a lot definitely elicits that response from me.
Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Felicia.
Yes.
What's going
on? Well,
you got a treadmill. Set it up.
Yeah, I set up a treadmill. Nothing that exciting. Cat really likes it. Cat wants to play every time I get on treadmill, which is a problem.
Yep.
Besides that, nothing too exciting, except Hot Topic just released a mummy collection. Hot Topic, I feel like, is going for the elder millennials now.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Every once in a while, I get an email that is like so specifically tailored to me and my interests.
Yeah.
And like, I either never like pay attention to the emails or I never get them unless it's something a little bit too close to home. Right. But yes, they released a mummy collection. I don't love all the designs. They took some stylistic choices, but they do also just have like poster t-shirts. So I got a couple of those. And then they have like the Boris Karloff mummy also.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a cool collection.
They don't have your Val Kilmer Doors poster, do they?
No, nobody does.
Hit us up in the Discord if you can find a shirt with Val Kilmer's. I think it's the DVD cover.
Yeah. So instead of like the very classic Jim Morrison Doors poster, it's Val Kilmer as Jim Morrison, but it says The Doors.
And it looks rad.
Yeah, I really want it. It existed at one point. You can still every once in a while find it on like eBay, but they're always stained and in terrible condition.
Yeah, I remember looking at one on eBay because I was thinking about it for your birthday.
Yeah.
And that boy had dubious stains on it.
Yep. Other than that, I watched, if we're going to roll right into that.
I've got something new in my life. My washing machine died.
That sucks.
My washing machine died. It was making loud noise.
Ooh.
And I was like, well, that's one of the things that sucks about being a homeowner is anytime something seems like it's going wrong, it's like, fuck, that's a bill.
That's true. I will say, though, it sucks as a renter, too, because you're at the mercy of your property management or landlord. Yeah. I just had this with my garbage disposal. That's a thing, I guess. So my garbage disposal mysteriously stopped working. I am not supposed to have a cat in this apartment. So I had to hide all traces of him when the maintenance guy came. It's just a contractor, but like I don't know that dude is not BFFs with property management and gonna go tell them. So I think
that's a strong instinct.
Yeah.
That could very well be the case.
Right, because a lot of these places will use the same contractor for years and years and years. So maybe they have him spying. I don't know.
It would not be a far stretch.
Yeah.
To like see them requesting that the contractor spy for them.
Right. And my property management sucks shit, so I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. So I like went through all this trouble of cleaning up all traces of the cat and hiding everything. And the dude was here for, I kid you not, 30 seconds.
What was it?
He twisted something and it drained. And then he's like, okay, there was a bottle cap stuck in there.
Oh, shit. What the hell? Your cat. Your cat's playing basketball.
No, I don't think so.
With the, did you say garbage disposal?
Yes.
Yeah, your cat totally playing, probably knocked a bottle cap in there, right?
No, he can't get up there. He has 3 legs, Jesse.
He can't jump still?
He can jump, but he needs like a ladder system.
Oh, I see. So you tried to dispose of a bottle.
Apparently.
That's not very...
Other than that, my dishwasher has also been broken since December, and he looked at it and he was like, you need a new dishwasher. This is not worth fixing. I'll talk to property management. And I have yet to hear back from them.
Oh, yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
They're probably waiting for you to follow up.
Me? Why?
Yeah. Why would they just listen to that guy? They're waiting for you to spend money. They're not just going to go off of that recommendation, money. I bet.
I fucking
rent. I know they have to spend the money. So what incentive do they have to reach out to you about it? You have to follow up with them. For sure.
Well, I don't really want to go through the trouble of hiding the cat again, so I might just not.
You could wait till you go to your parents, but I guess you would have to be there.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Anyway, your broken
for you.
Your broken washing machine. What are you going to do about that?
We already ordered a new one. It gets replaced on Saturday.
Oh, heck yeah.
They install it and they haul the old one off for more money.
Look how fast and efficient that was.
It was pretty good. I almost ordered it like early this week because that's when we noticed it. And I'm used to, actually I had a good life because we've had this house for like 16 years or something. And it's been here since the beginning and it's always worked. But
did you
usually
sing goodbye to your washing machine? Like, did I ever tell you you're my hero? As it was like being rolled out the door.
I get no attachment. And I wouldn't sing that fucking song. Please. Did you ever know that you're my hero?
It did so much for you.
I would pick a good song. We Are the Champions, maybe. I would send it out on a high.
Perfect.
Yeah, but anyway, my superpower is hearing. So I've always had like very good hearing. And 16-year-old washer was not Wi-Fi enabled. So Miriam would always have to ask me, like, is the washing machine still running? Because I could hear it and she can't. And then earlier this week, nobody had to ask that question because it was so loud that it was like I couldn't hear her from the kitchen, like trying to talk to me.
Damn.
So I was like, that boy is on its way to being broken.
Yep.
And we're terrible homeowners. And I just figured we'll replace the dryer too, because when you own a home,
terrible?
Well, if you own a home and you think about fire hazards, that's at the top of the goddamn list.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, we'll just get rid of the dryer too and get a more modern one. And then
that seems like good home ownership.
I don't know. We probably could have just cleaned that dryer. But that's a linty boy. We got a lot of lint going on.
This is fascinating discussion.
Yeah, what a fascinating. You guys want to hear about my dryer pipe?
How much fucking lint is in there?
If you go on YouTube, you can find some, they're like kind of satisfying videos of people clearing out their lint pipes, like the ones that vent out to the outdoors.
Dude, I always want to like DIY stuff, especially because it's so fucking frustrating going through any kind of property management channels.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, no, I'm lazy. But I did fix my own toilet handle. So
hell yeah. Miriam did too. Let me tell you about how handy I am.
Yeah.
I am not. See, capitalism, what's great about capitalism is that I just have to be smart programmer boy and make money and then pay other people who know how to do that shit to do it for
you
me.
are handy. You're just technologically handy, not like physically.
Yeah, it was always funny juxtaposition with my dad growing up, because my dad's like MacGyver, could build anything, could do anything with his hands. Like built houses, like built the house I grew up in and did all the electric and all the plumbing, and he could like do welding and shit. And meanwhile, I'm just on a computer like
but you're like teaching him how to log into his own accounts.
Yeah, I turned him to Trump inadvertently by introducing him to Facebook. It's like that's a regret that I have.
Yeah.
Hey, is this boring, you think? Or
maybe. But I was going to say that I think that I could be that person who's like super handy, because I'm like, I think I mentioned this before. Like, I'm good at rigging stuff and just like using bits and bobs around the house and like with glue and command hooks and putting stuff in places. So I think if I actually applied myself in any kind of way, I could learn that shit. But like that, it's too overwhelming.
Yeah, I bet you could get good at it.
Yeah.
Given the opportunity, you'll just be a homeowner one day, and then you have to. It'll be that or hire someone.
Man, heaven help when I'm a homeowner, because I'm going to be putting so many holes in walls.
Yeah, it's great. I can't remember if I told the podcast this, but we had to nail one of our lamps to the wall because our fucking cat kept breaking lamps.
Good God.
So we literally have a hole in our wall with a lampshade on the other side of it so that my cat can't knock that lamp down.
Good God.
She still knocks the other lamp down, but it doesn't break.
That's good.
So that's what a fun. Cats are great. Wow, everybody get a cat. What did we watch last week?
Well, if we're gonna go individually first, I watched certainly more Worst Cooks in America. There was a season where they did all celebrities, and it was like the most unhinged cast I've ever seen. It was the lady from I Dream of Jeannie, the comedian Tommy Davidson,
wow,
The Situation from Jersey Shore, and the guy who played Kyle XY.
What the fuck? That show was a banger, by the way.
I never watched it. I just know it was about a guy without a belly button. But after watching that season,
he was good at computers. It's not about his belly button.
Well, he didn't have one.
Right, but he was a computer man.
Wasn't he Superman?
No.
I'm thinking of Smallville.
Yeah.
But Kyle XY didn't have a belly button.
Superman's got a belly button. Kyle XY is a computer man. Why do you remember the belly button thing?
Because the poster was literally him lifting up his shirt to reveal no belly button.
All right. Continue.
But yeah, anyway, I now adore him, by the way. He's like the most wholesome person in the world.
Yeah.
But other than that, I watched a movie called American Werewolves. It is at first I was like, is this just a ripoff of like American Werewolf in London? But no, it's not. It is a Small Town Monsters production. Small Town Monsters is a production company run by Seth Breedlove. He is somebody who's been on Fright Day several times. He's very lovely and like very skeptical himself. So he writes and produces and directs these documentaries about like not hunting monsters, but like he interviews people who have had experiences and like they tell their stories, and he talks a little bit about like the history of the town and this and that. So American Werewolves was about people who had sightings or other experiences with what they perceived to be werewolves or dogmen. And I've seen a couple of Small Town Monsters productions. I personally don't do super well with documentaries. I tend to fall asleep. They're all interesting, but it's like I haven't been scared. Like other ones he's done are On the Trail of Bigfoot, The Mothman. So like cryptids, but not the scary ones, more like the super well-known ones.
Yeah.
This one freaked me the fuck out. And it's because very quickly it stopped being about werewolves and started being about skinwalkers, which is like my big creep out.
Yeah, I don't like those boys either. There's the one in X-Files freaked my shit out when I was a kid watching.
It's a terrifying concept because it's like this is related, but I was watching a Drawfee stream which was about creating effective horror monsters. And they talked a lot about how, like you don't show a lot of the monsters because your mind will fill in the gaps with what you find scary.
Right.
And B, there's this big element of like uncanny valley, which it's like an amalgamation of things you know, but just wrong enough that your brain doesn't know how to process it and perceives it as like a threat. So that's kind of what skinwalkers are to me. And plus it's like not just a cryptid, it's like deeply rooted in Native American legend and folklore.
Yeah.
So watching this and hearing people tell these fucking terrifying stories about like being out in the woods and suddenly they see eye shine, but it's like 7 feet tall.
Holy
and it's
fuck.
like a dog walking on 2 legs. Oh, it really gives me big chills.
And this is called American Werewolf?
American Werewolves.
American Werewolves.
Yeah,
on
it is
Discovery?
it's on Amazon. I think I had to rent it, but it's only a couple bucks. And I would recommend tossing all your money at Small Town Monsters. They're great people.
Okay. I might check that out because that seems fun.
I made the mistake of watching it like super, super late last night when my window was wide open. I'm like,
no.
Whew. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much what I watched this week.
We watched, individually, I watched Nobody with Bob Odenkirk, which I've seen before.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
I would recommend it. Do you like John Wick?
Yeah.
Nobody is like a lot like John Wick stylistically.
Mm-hmm.
But Bob Odenkirk's character is really interesting in it.
Okay.
And my guy from Patreon did a watch along. My director guy from YouTube and Patreon, it's James versus Cinema. And I also watched What Dreams May Come also with him. So it's my 2 watch alongs for the week. He's got like his community does polls to pick what they watch, and their track record is like immaculate. I always end up watching at least one thing every week.
That's a good way to do that. I assume we can do that when we have more people.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's better when you have a big, like when you have 100 or 200 people participating.
Yeah.
The cream will rise to the top. So yeah, I watched Nobody. I watched What Dreams May Come. I think that's it by myself. You had said that you watched some more of Paper Girls.
Yes, I watched about 2.5 more episodes of Paper Girls while potentially under the influence of some substances.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I retained much except for mech fights.
Yeah. the mech fights are great. That's from the book.
Ah.
Did you encounter any like sad parts?
I encountered
I don't
two
spoiler potential spoilers. I'm gonna really try not
but
to.
like obvious spoilers, I guess. I encountered a couple of deaths, which were sad, but like again, I was not sober, so they didn't affect me that much.
I'm trying not to spoil this for you and the audience at the same time, so it's a weird wire to walk. But there was this point in the show that involves a motorcycle and a couple of characters that was very sweet that made me cry.
I genuinely do not know if I hit that or not.
You would know it if you hit it. I think it's a very important part of the story. So I'll be excited when you get there.
Okay.
Oh, cool. My cat's puking in the background. Did you?
Oh, no, I didn't hear that, but that's delightful.
Oh, wow. That's good that my mic didn't pick it up. But I'm glad to report that my cat is continuing to puke. And that would be because when Miriam leaves town, I forget what food they're supposed to get.
Oh, no.
And there's one for sensitive stomachs.
Oh, no.
And I did not use that one.
Well, maybe just assume that going forward.
Yeah, I kind of suck. This is the second time I've done it. I'm just like, I don't pay attention. I got bad brain.
What did we watch together?
We watched Prey for the watch. We did a surprise bonus watch along.
Apparently we fucked up because I've heard from a lot of people that the Comanche dub is better. I've heard like the English version makes it somewhat cornier than
I knew I should have pushed way harder. I knew going in that I knew it was going to be true. 1 and 2, I knew that you don't mind subtitles, so I don't. I think
I was thinking more of the audience in that case. I feel like people will choose. I could be wrong, but I think
I had the same thought. We talked about it a little bit, and then I realized that I'm dumb because they're not syncing to our audio. So like they just watch it with the English audio, and it's the exact same. Like they're synced, but we've got Comanche audio on our end, and the audience has whatever they want.
Well, I guess that's to say you could also watch the Comanche audio while we talk about the English version. I mean, it can't be that different, but I think it's more organic.
I think it's worth a full star. I'm glad you brought this up because I wanted to talk about that. I gave it a 6 out of 10.
Same.
I think with the Comanche audio, it's a 7 probably from me because as we were recapping it, I was like, the main character at times sounded like a Valley girl. Like
I didn't get that.
Her English is extremely Americanized.
Yeah.
Which there's nothing wrong with that, but it's like a period piece. So you're looking for like a little affect, like a different affect, or maybe it's just me. But I feel like if you go to the Comanche audio, it'll just immerse you more. And one of my biggest gripes is that I wasn't that immersed. So
I think for me, I wouldn't have been any more immersed because it's still a Predator movie.
Yeah.
And I think that's my main thing. But, I've been seeing a lot of like effusive praise for this movie. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, are we stupid?
No, don't let me in because I had fun. I was taken out.
Yeah, it was fun.
I thought the video game dog was adorable and dumb at the same time.
Yeah.
So like I lost a star with some of the dog, like spoilers for Prey. Not huge spoilers, but they use that dog as a plot device so often.
Yeah.
That I lost a star for me there. And then the CG animals being shitty is another star gone. And then it had some pacing issues, and that's another star. And then how I got to 6 was I really liked the Americanized English accent, took some immersion out of it for me.
That's fair. But I agree with all of that. Like, I don't think watching it in the Comanche dub would have removed the fact that the animals looked bad.
Yeah, and they were being brutally murdered.
Yeah. for like a very unexplained reason. You're just supposed to kind of accept that he's just like big murderer and be cool with it.
Yeah. For sure.
So yeah, I don't necessarily think my score would have really changed. But I also did read that the dog actor was not super well trained. So they had like a hell of a time filming with the dog.
Which is amazing because that dog seemed like the goodest girl of all times.
They were like, she was kind of a hot mess, but like we got really excited anytime we finished a good take with her and the whole cast celebrated. So it's like very wholesome.
She's like a beautiful, awesome dog named Coco.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's certainly worth a watch. It's very enjoyable. I just don't necessarily think it would have changed my opinion that much to watch the Comanche dub. But if you're taken out of it by the dialogue being in English, then certainly go with that.
I'm gonna revisit it. Plus, I think watching it with you, I was like looking for more fun to be had.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna watch it maybe with Miriam or by myself, with the Comanche audio and English subtitles, and then see what happens. Because it had some really rad parts. Like I definitely made noise a few times because something really cool was happening on the screen. So I don't know. I'm empathetic, and maybe doing the watch along, I was like, maybe my pacing issues were just waiting for fun things to happen.
Could be, but I agree that it was relatively slow.
Yeah, it did. It felt like it dragged, and it took a little while for the action to ramp up.
Yeah.
But good movie.
Good movie. Other than that, we watched one episode of Under the Banner of Heaven.
Yeah.
Which I was also not all there for. So, like, I'm interested and want to keep going, but I think I need to watch the first episode again. Because it gets a little bit complicated in places. There are just a lot of characters.
Oh shit, yeah, that's anytime we deal with Mormons for some reason, there's like a fucking billion characters.
Why.
Yeah, wonder why.
And then we watched 3 episodes of the new Sandman Netflix show.
Yes, I haven't gone any further yet. I'm planning on it.
Same. Miriam
was sad when she got home from Virginia today that I hadn't gone any further because she's on 6.
Oh.
But I think we're gonna keep continuing to watch it without each other because I'm not sure when I'm gonna have time to watch.
Yeah.
But I remember when she asked me if she could watch it in Virginia, I was like, "Fuck yeah!" Because she's got this bad habit of going out of town when it happened with Stranger Things, like something I really look forward to watching, and like it's gonna drop the day she leaves. So, but she wanted to watch Sandman with her family, and I was like, "Hell yes, do that!" So I can watch it. So we watched 3 episodes, and it's good.
Yeah, I'm not usually a big fantasy person, but I think it has this real storybook feel to it. So it doesn't feel as much like high fantasy.
Yeah.
And all the characters are genuinely interesting. I do feel that Patton Oswalt is out of place.
Yeah, but who knows how that... We're still at early Oswalt.
Yeah.
So who knows how that plays out, but it's jarring when he shows up.
Yes, it is.
It's very pretty.
Also, I have just gone back to your beautiful outline that you put together for this show and realized I am skipping around a lot because I was using my own notes, but I'm happy to get back on track.
Oh, for Under the Banner of Heaven?
Yeah.
That I spent the first 10 minutes making Mormon jokes. Andrew Garfield is hard to buy as a detective.
He's just a baby.
And also, I hate the fucking Swede. Why is the Swede... He's like typecast as Mormon. I wonder if he's Mormon in real life.
Maybe. I think he's more typecast because he can play like a really stern, terrifying character.
Yeah, I should have looked up his real name because
I'm going to do that right now.
Nobody can search for the Swede.
And when you say the Swede, where does that come from?
It comes from Hell on Wheels.
His name is Christopher Heyerdahl, I think is how you say
Heyerdahl.
That. Yes.
Yeah, I hate him. I hate his character in Hell on Wheels. And he's basically playing the exact same character and Under the Banner of Heaven, just a little more subdued. That way.
Yes. I do remember being thrilled to see an actor that I have not seen in a long while. His name is Seth Numrick?
Yeah, right.
He is from the show Turn Washington Spies. At least that's what I've seen him in. I don't feel like he has a lot of credits. At least, I guess he does. Just not really anything that I've seen other than Turn. Right. And him and one other character were my favorites in Turn. Absolutely love them. So I was like so thrilled to see him in something else finally.
I heard audible thrill.
Yeah, audible thrill.
I heard it.
Yeah.
It sounded like you were talking to a cat. When that voice gets all high and you're like, oh, you're so great.
Again, not sober. But I probably would have reacted that differently if I was.
That's true. We were talking about the Sandman. It's pretty.
Is pretty.
Had Gargoyle named Gregory. He's cool. I liked Gregory. No. Spoilers.
You know I couldn't not make a sound when you said Gregory.
Yeah. Everybody, it's not the biggest spoiler because it's pretty quick.
Very.
Gregory moves quick. I would have loved for Gregory to be in the whole damn show.
It seems like we're getting a Gregory surrogate, though.
Yeah. It was funny when we were watching it because I remember saying that when Miriam got to this part, she assuredly squeed. Yes, and then got real sad. And I was dead on. I asked her about it when she got home.
I don't usually I don't squee for that kind of fantasy creature, but the fact that they made it so dog-like, it's like playing fetch.
It's the cutest goddamn thing I've ever seen.
So that was rude.
It's very mean of them. Yeah. Any movie or television news?
Apparently, I'll just read what you have here is that Warner Brothers killed Batgirl. I have zero opinion on that. Do you?
I have an opinion that I'm not gonna lie and say I was looking forward to Batgirl because DC in general fucks their movies up. I don't like any of them really.
Neither do I.
Few and far between. I like the Batman.
Yeah, that was decent.
But I wasn't expecting Batgirl to be good or anything. The problem is the way that they killed it. It was Discovery, and they killed it for as a tax write-off. And the way that they did it means that it's never going to see the light of day. So it's not going to be like a Snyder Cut situation where fans rise up and then 4 years later you get the Snyder Cut on HBO Max. That project's dead.
Yeah.
So nobody's ever going to see it. And the thing that sucks, I feel is everyone who was working on it who was excited about it because it doesn't even matter
for cast and crew.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad. If you get cast in something like that, that's a big fucking deal. And you're telling all your family and shit, and you're all excited. And then suddenly they just pull the rug and it's never going to see the light of day.
Yeah, that is sad.
Yeah, it really sucks. And it gives me a bad feeling about HBO Max, which is one of my favorite streaming services.
See, I actually canceled my HBO Max in favor of Discovery Plus, which is funny given the fact that it might be merging.
That is interesting.
Right? And I did it because pretty much all of the HBO projects that I watch actively, we watch together.
Yeah. So we just use my account.
Pretty much, or you stream it and we watch it together. So there's really not anything currently on HBO that I want to watch.
Righteous Gemstones.
Yeah, but again, that's something we watch together.
That's true.
Righteous Gemstones and Our Flag Means Death is pretty much all I care about on HBO right now. Right. And we watch those together.
That's true. And the Batman, we watched that together.
We did, but that was might as well for me. I didn't really have invested stake in that.
And then the newest Matrix movie, which was one of the biggest disappointments I've ever felt.
I didn't watch it.
Yeah, but I get it. HBO Max is one of the better streaming services, though, in general.
Horrible interface, though.
The interface is not great. And the
always
search...
glitching.
It's always glitching, and when you go to it, like it never hits you in the face with what you're looking for.
Right. You really
Almost
have to
never.
search.
Even if it's brand new.
Yeah.
Like something they would want to advertise. It's not. It's like
right.
never
That's
on
why
the front.
I'm not heartbroken if it's going away, because I never really was able to use it effectively anyway.
Right. Yeah, that was all my thoughts on them killing Batgirl. It sucks for the cast. I didn't care about it though. But I do kind of care that it looks like they're killing all their straight to streaming stuff, which in my situation makes me sad because I can't go to theaters. So that means
that is a bummer.
That means I'm gonna be waiting for everything.
I think that's really the main thing I was using HBO for recently is the still in theaters stuff that got early releases.
Yeah, that was cool. I missed that about the pandemic, but I'll give that up so everybody can go to clubs and stuff and resume their lives. I'm not a dick. The other thing I had here was Jaws is getting an IMAX re-release on September 2nd, and I just put that there for you because I know you like Jaws.
I do like Jaws. I'm sure that would be cool to see, but I don't have an IMAX theater near me, so...
What the fuck? Really?
I would have to go a solid hour and a half to watch it.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm not going to do that.
We're different. If I could go out in the world and I loved a thing, I'd be driving an hour and a half probably.
I love Jaws, but I don't think that I need to see it in IMAX to love it.
No, but it is like that's a rare treat. It's not coming back to IMAX anytime soon, probably. Or maybe they start doing it yearly. Who knows?
Well, I feel like sometimes they'll do stuff like that for an anniversary or like a festival. Yeah. Like on the anniversary of Jurassic Park, they brought it back to theaters in 3D. And I went to see that, and that was cool. So I'm not like jumping on this. It is real cool though. I would do it if I lived closer to an IMAX theater.
We live fairly close to one of the biggest screens in the country.
Nice.
And it's not nice for me.
It's nice for Miriam.
No, she won't go.
Why?
It makes me jealous. She doesn't care. She's like doesn't care about big screen.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way.
I'm a nerd, I guess. I don't get it. But IMAX, like real IMAX, is so fucking cool.
I don't think I've ever been to an IMAX movie, so I guess I don't know what I'm missing.
That's insane. That's insane.
Again, don't live near one.
Yeah, I get it. You should try to I bet LA's got a good IMAX theater. Next time you go to LA, you should like do a side trip and just see what it's like.
That feels like something you would want to do with friends, though. Not just like a random day activity. I don't know.
You got LA friends that like movies?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just me. I love IMAX.
You just want to live vicariously through me.
Yeah. What about it?
We come together on a huge silver screen because we need that, all of us. That indescribable feeling we get feels good in a place like this. I'm coming.
Hey, Felicia.
Yeah.
What's coming out in theaters this week on IMAX that you don't want to go to?
You shouldn't ask me, because I don't know any of these. First of all, there are 5 movies coming to theaters nationwide on August 12th. The first one is Mac and Rita, a comedy drama. I don't know why I'm talking like this.
I don't know either.
A 30-year-old writer, Elizabeth Lale, spends a wild weekend in Palm Springs and wakes up to find she has magically transformed into her 70-year-old self, played by Diane Keaton. It stars Diane Keaton and Elizabeth Lale from You.
And Taylor Page from Zola, who was great.
And I see here you have a little note under Zola.
What is the note
There's
say?
A little note. It might say sweet potato dick.
Why would it say that? Weird.
Because if you've seen Zola, there is what I would call a montage of penises, and one of them looks very unwell.
It is not healthiest looking dick you've ever seen.
No, certainly not.
It's enormous. It literally looks like a sweet potato to me.
And color too.
Yeah. Yeah, very much. It is a sweet potato dick. But Taylor Page was the shit in Zola.
Next, we have Collide, which is a thriller.
We didn't talk about Macarita. We just zooming right through.
I just read it.
Right, but it's Freaky Friday in reverse.
Oh, I don't care.
All right, what's next? Yeah, I don't give a fuck either. I looked at the trailer. It's for boomers. Let's go to the next one.
Why did you give me such a hard time for skipping it when you don't care?
I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like we flew right through it.
Listen, we're at over an hour and we barely talked about movies.
That's true. Okay, let's go.
Collide, thriller. Follows a group, and group is what you have written here.
I didn't write that.
Follows and group of characters as their paths intersect over the course of an evening in an LA restaurant. Written and directed by Mukunda Michael DeWill?
Mukunda forever. Don't worry, he's white.
Oh, okay. Then it's fine.
As I was looking, I was like, I really want to make a Mukunda forever joke. And then I looked him up and I was like, fuck yeah, it's a white guy. Hell yeah. He has no credits at all that I recognize.
Yeah, I don't recognize the name at all. Ryan Phillippe is in it. Kat Graham and Jim Gaffigan. What a weird ass cast.
It is a weird cast. It just looks like it's a thriller. It looks like your standard thriller. It's nothing like groundbreaking, it appears.
Nothing about the description sounds thrilling either.
No.
I feel like lately every movie description we've read for a movie coming out in theaters, we're like, fucking boring, skip.
Well, these are the doldrums.
They really are.
And it's probably going to get worse for a little bit until around Halloween.
Next we have Fall, which is another thriller. Best friend. What?
The big poster. I was gonna tell people to look up the poster for this and look how out of place Jim Gaffigan looks in it.
Yeah, he does.
If you know Jim Gaffigan's comedy, you can't just think of him as serious.
Because the other two look like horny 20-year-olds.
Yeah, and Jim Gaffigan, fluffy as he is, taking up his whole frame. And he's trying to look serious, but I know who Jim Gaffigan is, and it just doesn't work.
No.
Okay, Fall. Fall.
Best friends Becky and Hunter find themselves at the top of a 2,000-foot radio tower.
Okay.
That's it? That's what it is.
Dude, check out the trailer for this when you get a chance. I agree. When I saw this, I had the same reaction. I was like, that can't be fun. The trailer, I'm scared of heights, so the trailer got me.
Honestly, it's a decent setup for spooky times because I too do not like heights.
They're not just standing on the tower. They're like trying to get down off of it. They can't for some reason. So they're climbers. They're friends and they're climbers. And one of them has it has a problem on a mountain that makes her not want to climb, and the other one talks her into climbing this like giant radio tower in the middle of nowhere, and they get stuck.
Very dumb.
It sounds, yes.
I know. I mean, the premise of being up very high and not being able to get down is terrifying to me.
Yes.
So I don't fault that at all. But it seems like a situation where I don't really feel bad for either of the main characters because they're stupid.
No, I don't super feel bad. I don't think the point of the movie is to feel bad. It's just to like watch these girls freak out trying to get off this fucking giant tower.
I'd probably watch it.
The other thing from the trailer that I thought was funny is that their cell phone didn't work atop a radio tower. I thought that was fun.
That's pretty good.
I was like, huh.
Interesting. Kind of a pointless tower.
Yeah, I was like, what is this tower for? If not for... Surely someone would have fucking fit a cell phone thing on there at some point.
Well, that's intriguing. It kind of hits the same fear center as like claustrophobia for me.
Yeah. Even the trailer got a rise out of me. So if you
Okay.
were scared of heights, this might be an actual thriller for you.
There you go.
Check
Next
it out.
one, we have Emily the Criminal.
Yeah.
It's a crime drama thriller. So many thrillers they're trying out here, huh? Just throwing
Sure
a lot of
are.
spaghetti at the wall.
Uh-huh.
Down on her luck and saddled with debt, Emily gets involved in a credit card scam that pulls her into the criminal underworld of Los Angeles, ultimately leading to deadly consequences.
Okay. This is for women. I watched the trailer. This is for women who have a boring day job who want excitement in their life.
But it's starring Aubrey Plaza, so I get the feeling it's not super serious.
No, it's serious.
Oh no.
And I loved her in Parks and Rec. She was one of my favorite characters, and I haven't liked much of her stuff otherwise, with the caveat that I have not seen Ingrid Goes West, and I understand that's a good one.
Yeah, I'm in the same place.
It's got Juice from Sons of Anarchy in it too.
Fine.
Juice is great.
He's fine.
How much of Sons did you watch? Did you watch the
All
whole
of
thing?
it.
All thing. Had a horny boy.
Which one?
The wet man. The main wet man, I guess.
No.
Long hair McGee.
No. You know who my wet man in that show is? Chibs.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Was that is that Beanie Man?
Beanie Man.
One of them wears a beanie all the time. Who'd you say? Chibs?
Chibs. He's the Irish one with the scars on his face.
Oh, the scars. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, little tangent.
The Irish smile.
Yeah. And has that IRL.
Yeah. Which interesting. That sucks. I would never want that to happen to me.
No. Next one, I hate that you put on the list because we both hate it, but I understand that other people might not.
The whole world loves anime except for us.
I
so
know,
I feel
but
like,
it's our damn show, Jesse.
right, but we gotta serve the people. We can at least mention it. You'll notice I put no information on
I don't even know
other
how to
than
say
the
that.
synopsis.
Inuo?
I think it's Inuo.
Inuo. Anime fantasy music. A cursed dancer and a musician stun society with electrifying concerts in this animated rock opera.
This is going to excite someone. Just not me.
Good for you.
Do you want to guess at the ratings on any of these?
No.
I don't either. We're in the doldrums. This is the dead period of theater experience.
Yeah.
And it seems to be where every production company's dumping all their shit movies.
Because
there's like 5.
That said, there are some good things on streaming.
Yeah. Prey, we already talked about that.
We sure did.
Old Dan Trachtenberg.
13 Lives, I haven't watched it yet, but I intend to. It is an action-adventure biography. It's based on a true story. A rescue mission is assembled in Thailand where a group of young boys and their soccer coach are trapped in a system of underground caves that are flooding. It's got Viggo Mortensen and Colin Farrell in it. That's real cool.
Directed by Ron Howard. He does good stuff.
So I'm definitely going to check that out. I don't think it's a good podcast watch, but we will watch that on our own time.
I might not even... I followed it live. I don't know what they could... I know they're going to fuck with like claustrophobia. I'm not a big fan of that.
See, I like it because it gets to me and not a lot of horror stuff does. So like I appreciate
that. You can expect some underwater claustrophobia.
Yeah, I will watch that.
Also, I noticed in the cast list that nobody seems to be playing Elon Musk.
I guess I didn't follow it well enough because I did not know that aspect of this story.
Dude, there was a big thing. Elon Musk was like sent something. He sent some sort of like rescue machine, and one of the people, like one of the rescuers, was like, "We don't need that shit." And Elon Musk called him like a kitty toucher.
Oh my God.
It was a big thing.
Wow.
It was actually, I would mark it in American history as when Elon Musk started going downhill in the public's
oh shit.
I think that was the moment.
I don't necessarily blame them for keeping that out of the film.
Right. No, it was just a dumb bit. I thought everybody knew about that Elon Musk shit because it made news. He was like trolling.
I try my best to avoid any news about Elon Musk.
He was like actively trolling a rescue mission trying to save a bunch of kids and shit.
Wow. Cool guy.
Yeah, it didn't come across well, and he got sued too for that.
Good.
Next on the list
is the Sandman, which we did already talk about.
Yeah.
I say watch it. So
I
far,
say watch
so
it
good.
too. It's an adaptation of one of my favorite graphic novels by Neil Gaiman. Neil Gaiman also did American Gods, which is another great series if you're into that.
Heck yeah.
And the Sandman synopsis is: upon escaping after decades of imprisonment by a mortal wizard, Dream, the personification of dreams, sets about to reclaim his lost equipment.
We definitely talked about this on the last podcast too, because I had seen the trailer. So I don't think we need to get into it too much more.
Okay.
But
It's good
times. Go watch it.
Yeah, if you like voices, like deep voices, Dream's got a good one.
Then you have here Mike Judge's Beavis and Butthead.
Yep. New season of that. And the only reason I mention it is because they're doing TikTok videos instead of music videos. So if you know anything about Beavis and Butthead, they used to troll music videos, which are not on Paramount Plus because I guess they couldn't secure rights. So if you rewatch Beavis and Butthead from like the old days, they like cut the music videos out of it, which was a big part. That show is basically on MTV to make fun of videos. Like that was the whole thing. So this new one has them making fun of TikTok videos, and I watched an episode of it, and it's good. So if you like Beavis and Butthead, you'll like it probably.
Cool.
And they do still make fun of a music video at the end, which got a real big laugh out of me. It's fucking hilarious. They're like shitting all over this video. It's very fun.
There you go. Next we have They/Them, which is a horror thriller on Peacock. It's an LGBTQIA plus empowerment tale set at a gay conversion camp. It's written and directed by John Logan, stars Kevin Bacon, Anna Chlumsky, and our friend Anna Laurie.
Yay, Anna. Yay. We talked about it earlier.
Yeah. I have not seen this. I might check it out myself.
Yep. I'm planning on it. I'm in the same boat.
Yeah. Next on the list, we have Lightyear, which is pretty self-explanatory. It's animation action adventure on Disney Plus. While spending years attempting to return home, marooned Space Ranger Buzz Lightyear encounters an army of ruthless robots commanded by Zurg, who are attempting to steal his fuel source.
Yeah.
Stars Chris Evans, Keke Palmer, and Taika Waititi, who I didn't realize was in the movie until recently, because they did an interview, Chris Evans and Taika together did an interview where Taika said he wasn't going to do it until Chris got cast, because he wanted to work with him again.
That's cool.
Yeah.
This, I have no interest in, I wouldn't have had an interest in it. It caught like a lot of flack in the media for a same-sex kiss, which is stupid.
Yes.
Otherwise, it did not do well.
No.
And I don't think it was because of the same-sex kiss.
No.
It seems like not a great movie.
Because generally I'll watch anything with Taika, but
yeah.
I don't need
not
to.
This one.
Next, Luck, animation adventure comedy on Apple TV Plus. The curtain is pulled back on the millennia-old battle between the organizations of good luck and bad luck that secretly affects everyday lives. It stars Eva Noblezada, Simon Pegg, and Jane Fonda.
This looks like a cute little movie.
Yeah.
But
again, probably not going to watch it because it's animated, but it's an interesting premise.
Yep. It looks like it's fun. Apple TV Plus is probably a good sign these days. So if you like animated stuff, check it out. It looks like it's more for kids.
Yeah.
From the trailer that I saw.
Next, we have Resurrection, which we did talk about doing for our watch along, but it's still out on VOD, and you would have to rent it for probably too much money.
Yeah, so which we've done in the past, but I was shakier about this one because it doesn't have a lot of buzz about it.
Yeah. So again, this is one that I'll probably end up watching on my own. Its synopsis is: Margaret's life is in order. She is capable, disciplined, and successful. Everything is under control. That is, until David returns, carrying with him the horrors of Margaret's past. Written and directed by Andrew Siemens, Stars Rebecca Hall, who's Claire from The Town. I have no fucking idea who that is. Tim Roth from Lie to Me. And Grace Kaufman. Looks like she used to do a lot of voice acting, is what you have noted here.
Did you ever watch Lie to Me?
I didn't watch it, but I know who the dude is.
Miriam loved that show. I liked it for a couple seasons. The magic was lost for some reason. But when I was looking this up, I was like, I didn't really know who Tim Roth is, but I was like, that fucking guy looks so familiar to me.
Yeah, I wouldn't have recognized the name, but from Lie to Me, I could see his face like on that poster.
Yeah, I eventually got to Lie to Me down the list on IMDb. And I was like, oh, right, him.
Yeah.
He was great in that. I would probably watch this with you still. I didn't want to make people pay the rental for the watch along.
Yeah. I don't know how good it will be, but I'm generally willing to give indie horror a shot.
Yeah. And it looks interesting.
I want to say it's IFC, and I generally trust them.
Yep. Same.
So what are we watching this week, Jesse?
We're watching... This is my fault. We're watching Frankenstein's Army from 2013, which is a horror / sci-fi.
Yes, as you can see, we didn't have a plethora to choose from for our watch along. So we're doing another kind of off the cuff choice. What made you put this on the table?
I was in the mood for horror, and I was looking through Reddit for underrated horror movies. And Dog Soldiers was at the top of the list, which I brought up. We still might do that one. Maybe that'd be I just read it was good, and it seemed to have the most buzz on the thing I was looking at. But the second was Frankenstein's Army.
Yeah. The synopsis is, in the dying days of World War II, a battalion of Russian soldiers is lured into the secret lab of deranged scientists and forced to face off against an army of horrific flesh and metal war machines. When Jesse suggested this, it piqued my interest because I've actually had this movie on my watch list for a long time, because after Resident Evil Village came out, it caught a lot of flack for allegedly stealing designs from this movie. I don't know that was necessarily ever proven, but apparently there's a lot of too close to not be a coincidence or too close to be a coincidence designs. So I'm kind of excited to watch it and pick out the ones from Village.
Do you maybe want to watch Resident Evil Village? Like, not watch along, but just watch it with us beforehand?
Resident Evil Village is a game.
Oh, I thought it was a movie.
Nope. It's the 8th Resident Evil game, the most recent one.
All right, that's on you then. I haven't played it.
You could look it up online. I think there were several articles written about the similarities between the creatures from Frankenstein's Army and Resident Evil Village. So I think just type in Resident Evil Village, Frankenstein's Army, and I'm sure they'll show side-by-side comparisons.
Okay. And the other nice thing about Frankenstein's Army is that it's a nice hour 26.
We love that.
Yeah. I've decided to check the runtime from now on.
Because
even though Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was fucking great, 241 is not fun to edit.
Yeah.
That was too long.
Yeah, warnings for this one, it's horror. I assume it's going to be relatively gross. I think, judging by the flesh and metal war machines, it's likely going to be body horror. So extra disturbing. So just look up some stuff about it beforehand, maybe, and see if you can stomach it.
When I looked this up, I was looking up the director, Richard Rapphorst.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed that this is his only feature-length film. But what piqued my interest was when I was looking at his credits, it looks like he's basically a storyboard and conceptual artist.
Yeah, that's what interests me about this too, is just the creature designs. I love
I bet they're
creature
fucking
features
rad.
and monster movies. Yeah. So I'm excited.
When you said that thing about Resident Evil, I was like,
mm-hmm.
I bet these creatures are fucking amazing because this guy's a concept artist. And he was given free reign to make his own shit. So
right. That's why I'm excited. I don't even care about the story, frankly. I just want to see a bunch of big gross monsters.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. I think it'll be fun.
Yeah.
The only person I recognize from the cast is Carell Rodin from Hellboy.
I don't even recognize him.
Yep, I barely recognized him. So I think it's like just indie horror we're gonna see some cool ass monsters, and that'll be fun.
It did get like, you found it on Reddit under underrated horror. It did get a lot of praise after Village because people were actively trying to acknowledge it,
right?
And saying like, go see this if you liked the designs in Village because it is really cool. So I like that, and I think that's promising. And even if the movie sucks, I think we'll see some cool stuff.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be fun. It'll be a good watch along. All right, so that's all for this week. The Frankenstein's Army watch along should drop on our podcast feed on Friday morning at 7 a.m. and also on our YouTube channel, which is at the top of www.idiots.fm. Cool. Would not mind a subscription.
No, do it.
Hooray.
Thank you for your questions. Keep them coming.
Yeah, those were good questions.
Yeah.
And I really forgot about the 5 thing already. So hopefully I hear this again when I'm editing and I remember to add it to the show rundown.
Yeah, I'll say I'll remind you, but I probably won't remember.
Wow, we did it.
Wow, we did it.
Wow. I'll see you next Wednesday. What a nice show this was. That was so fun. I like talking to you.
I like talking to you too.
Yeah.
For an hour and a half.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to Two Idiots Talking Over Stuff, produced by Jesse Stillwell, with original theme and outro music by Jesse Stillwell. For more information, you can visit www.idiots.fm or reach out directly via email to contact@idiots.fm.